Welcome to San Pelícano. This place is home to some of the world's finest EMTs, and you are about to join us. Let's get started. You've been assigned to downtown. It's busy and chaotic, but this is where we excel. Your job? Respond to emergency calls all over the district. Stabilize patients in need and transport them safely to a nearby hospital. Remember, it's not just about speed. It's about making the right decisions under pressure. Lives depend on it. The faster you learn, the sooner you'll get the critical cases. Stay sharp and always be ready. Now get out there and make a difference. Show San Pelícano what you are made of. We're counting on you.
Ah, here's our new paramedic. It's nice to meet you. I'll be overseeing your training today. Hop in the ambulance, and we'll wait for our first assignment from dispatch. If you ever get lost, check your map. It always shows you where the ambulance is located.
Dispatch calling ambulance 152. You are needed at the scene of an accident. One person collapsed in a parking lot in downtown Pelican and is in need of assistance. Over.
152, roger. Heading out. Okay, we have received our first call-out. Don't worry, I will assist you every step of the way. You can check out the full version of the map if you want to see our complete route. Hey! Keep your eyes drive swiftly and safely to the location marked on your map. Use the siren as needed. Hey! Keep your eyes open. No one will notice that. We've arrived. Let's assess the situation. Looks like this is our patient. They appear to be conscious. Before we begin treatment, we should ask the patient a set of relevant questions about their person and medical conditions. This is called anamnesis. Try to retrieve as much information as possible. The more we know, the better we can help.
My whole body is aching. I suddenly heard this ringing noise in my ears and felt dizzy. I sat down and called for help. I suddenly heard this ringing noise in my ears and felt dizzy. I sat down and called for help.
Take a moment to further inspect the patient. You might find some more evidence while inspecting different body parts. We've received new information about the patient. I already made a note inside the patient protocol. This is where we collect all relevant information about the patient and mark down newly discovered pieces of evidence. Take a look at it now. These are the pieces of evidence you have discovered during anamnesis and inspection. For each patient, you will have to make an informed assessment on what could be the underlying cause responsible for the emergency based on the collected evidence. This patient does not appear to be in any immediate danger. Choose a category and an interim diagnosis that fits the evidence. Your interim diagnosis can always be adjusted during treatment. Let's go back to our patient now. Good. Let's put the patient on the stretcher and continue treatment inside the ambulance. First, we need to assess the patient's vitals in more detail. This can only be done inside the ambulance. For now, there are 3 key vitals we should worry about: oxygen saturation, heart rate, and blood pressure. To measure both oxygen saturation and heart rate, attach the oximeter's clip on the patient's finger. Diagnostic tools will then provide you with live readouts of the patient's vitals. Next up, try attaching the blood pressure cuffs to the patient's upper arm. It will provide you with information about the patient's blood pressure. Vitals are displayed in more detail inside the patient protocol. Feel free to take a look. All vitals seem to be within their normal range. This patient is clearly unwell. Let's take this one to the nearest hospital, just to be safe. I will monitor the patient during transport, while you drive us to the closest hospital. She seems to be stable, so no need to rush. Please drive more carefully. Think of our patient. We've arrived. Let's unload the patient and transfer their care to the hospital staff. They will take care of the patient from this point on.
Let me see. We take over from here.
Nice job. This concludes our first call out together. If you need a reminder on anything, you can always check your handbook. All relevant information can be found there. Shift's over, remember? For now, this will be our last training scenario together. You are making great progress. As usual, we should enter the ambulance and wait for our assignment.
Calling ambulance 152. There have been reports of a bicycle accident in downtown Pelican Park. One person is bleeding heavily. Please head over immediately.
Copy that, dispatch. We're on our way there now. No one will notice that. This should be the correct location. Let's try and locate where the accident took place. Sometimes, there are witnesses present around the scene of an accident. They might be able to help us with additional information. You can approach them just like patients.
Yeah, we were riding through the park together like always. Suddenly, there was this huge bump in the road. I'm glad I missed that one.
The witness report seems to indicate external factors as the cause of the crash. I will mark that down on the patient chart. Once we're done here, go and get the stretcher so we can tend to those wounds properly inside the ambulance.
Everything's turning black. Thank God you're here. I'm not sure. I was on my bike, my usual route, and suddenly I completely lost control.
You should attach the usual diagnostic tools first. Afterwards, we should really take care of any bleeding wounds using the bandage tool.
Leave me alone! I need space.
Nice job. Once we've taken care of all the wounds, we should drive the patient to a hospital. Our patient doesn't like that at all.
Let me see. We take over from here.
Good work today. Here are your results. This concludes our training shift together. I'm glad you're learning so quickly. Your future work will help us earn funds to provide better medical services across San Pelícano. Keep it up, and I'm sure we will work together again really soon. Are you ready for the next assignment? Let's get back inside the ambulance and wait for dispatch to give us a call.
Calling ambulance 152, a person was reported hyperventilating in downtown Pelican, sending location data now.
You know what to do. Quickly head to the marked location. Hey, keep your eyes open. Let's find our patient and confirm their condition by anamnesis.
My whole
whole body's aching. I can't. It's all too much.
The patient appears to be breathing rapidly and is having trouble responding. Perhaps it's a panic attack? Quickly get the stretcher so that we can treat them inside the ambulance. Remember your training. Check the patient's vitals with our diagnostic tools, the blood pressure cuffs, and blood oximeter. Once you're done collecting all relevant information, select panic attack as our interim diagnosis in the patient protocol. I'm sure that this is a panic attack, but in other callouts, I'll rely on you to make your best analysis from the information at hand. Oxygen levels are pretty low. We should try to get the patient's breathing back to normal. Try soothing the patient by calmly talking to them. This is also part of the level of patient care that is expected of us. You can read more about it in your handbook.
Oh.
Nice try, but unfortunately, this doesn't seem to help much. Oxygen values are still dropping. If this continues, we will need to administer some medicine to calm down our patient. We'll use ketamine, which needs to be administered directly into the patient's bloodstream. To be able to administer this kind of medicine, we need to use the IV needle tool to gain vascular access first. Heart rate approaching normal levels. This will be your first medical procedure. Try to find the correct vein and carefully insert the needle. As always, you can read up on the ins and outs of the different medical procedures in your handbook. Well done. Now that we have vascular access, you slowly inject the ketamine. Okay, with the breathing rate back to normal, O2 levels are rising again. The situation seems to be under control. We should still take the patient to a hospital for further examination. You drive. I will stay back here and keep an eye on the patient's condition. Excellent. Let's drop off the patient to complete this call-out.
Let me see. We take over from here.
During our shifts, the receiving hospital will evaluate your performance at the end of each call-out. This should help you better understand what you did right or what parts of your treatment still need improvement. Let's see how you did. Great job out there today. You can read up on details about the evaluation process in your handbook. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted. Getting enough rest is important, so be sure to keep an eye on your stamina. We don't want to risk making any careless mistakes. This marks the end of today's shift.